Do you have droopy eyelids but still want to do a smoky eye? Same. I have hooded eyes, and what that means is your eyelid, well, this top part of your eyelid droops over the bottom part of your eyelid, and you have extra skin, and sometimes it's hard to do things, and you get creases and all that stuff. So I'm going to show you how I do a smoky eye with my hooded eyes. We're going to be using the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon Palette, throwing it back. Yes, it still smells like chocolate, barely, but it smells really good. I'm going to do a brown smoky eye today. The first thing I always do is go in with a bone shade. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here and put it all over my lid. This is optional. I just like to do it because I feel like it gives my lid a nice base, but you do whatever makes you feel more comfortable, whatever makes you happy. Next, this is not optional. Okay, not optional at all. In any eyeshadow look that you do, you want to put a transition shade in your crease. I'm gonna go in with a light transition shade. I'm gonna go with this shade right here. It's called Mocha, and put that on a big fluffy blending brush right in my crease, windshield wiper motions, just back and forth. This is what we need to do in order to build up our smoky eye. So we're laying the foundation for a really good blended out, blown out, easy smoky eye. I'm also doing swirling motions to kind of blend it out, because when you have hooded eyes, your top eyelid comes down into your bottom eyelid. You can just do windshield wiper motions, but to blend it out even further and out of that droopiness, you want to circle out. And we'll go further into that with the darker shades that we go into. Now that we have a good base or foundation for the rest of our eyeshadow, we're gonna go in with the darkest shade. So when you're building a smoky eye, and this goes with hooded eyes or not, I always like to do a good base, which is like the concealer and then the bone shade. Then go in with your transition, and then go in with the darkest shade out in the V of your eye. And this is where it gets a little bit tricky if you have hooded eyes, so I'm gonna explain it really easily for you. I'm gonna go in with the shade Boardwalk right here. I think I'm gonna mix this one and whatever this one's called. Mix those two together. And I have a dense brush like this because we're really gonna pack on that color right here on the outer corner of your eye. So with hooded eyes, because we have lots of droopiness going on, we don't wanna just pack it on our lid, but we kinda wanna bring it up into the crease a little bit. That way you can see it when your eye is like fully open. You can see it kind of blending in to your crease a little bit. And you want to look down, because when you look down, you have your full eyelid. There's no overlapping of anything. So looking down, pressing in the outer V, and then bringing up into the crease just a little bit. And to kind of gauge where you're at, you can kind of look straight. And then when you see it coming into your crease like that, that's exactly what we want. So you can see it kind of in the outer. And then we're going to keep pressing and blending up into the crease. Now we're gonna go back in with the transition shade, the first shade that we used, on our same big blending brush, and go lightly over that darkest shade, focusing on the top part of our eyelid to really blend and blow out that darkest shade. I like to go kind of like make like an L shape right here when you're blending, so that way it's blended at the corner and it's blended at the top. I'm just going in and adding a little bit more of that transition shade right here on the corner, because that's where I want the darkest shade to be, and I'm blending it on the top part of my eyelid. Now we've got a fabulous base, and we're almost done, because I'm not going to go into like a super complex smoky eye. I'm just not really about that life anymore. I'm going to use the same dense brush that I used to pack on the outer corner, and there's nothing else on it, but I'm just going to kind of feather that in to the center of my eye to blend that out even further. You see the difference here? Like, it's so much more blown out over on here, and here it's kind of just a little bit more stark, so we want to not forget about the eyelid and blend that in. And feel free to build up the outer corner with the same technique, just stamping, moving it up into your crease. But for this look, I'm just gonna keep it as it is. I'm not gonna do anything super crazy, but I do want to do just a little bit of sparkle on the eyelid. Kind of, this is just what I used to do many years ago when I was first getting into makeup. Love doing smoky eyes. Signature look, transition shade, corner, outer similar signature look, just a transition shade, a dark outer V, and then shimmer on the eyelid. So that's what I'm gonna do again. I'm gonna go in with the shader here. It's called Satin Sheets, I think, and just place that on my lid. I'm blending it into where we just blended the dark shade. I think I'm gonna go in with my finger too, because I think it'll be a little bit more, oh yeah, a little bit more pigmented. I'm kind of blending it up into my crease just a little bit, again, to accommodate those hooded eyes. That way you can see the shimmer kind of going into my crease when my eyes are open. I'm going in with the same transition shade again and going into the inner part of my eyelid, kind of opening my eyes just a little bit more so I can really get in there in the crease and blending out that shimmer shade that I just laid down. So we were working on the outer part and now we're working on the inner part. Windshield wiper motions, light strokes, lots of patience with smoky eyes, especially if you're just starting out. Please don't forget to blend anything. I used to see that all the time. People just put the eyeshadows on your eye. You do what you want. If you like that, that's fine. But for me personally, that's not it. We gotta blend. Now I'm gonna take just a little bit more of that dark shade, stamp that in on both sides, blend it into the shimmer. Don't forget the hooded part of your eye going up into the crease, taking the blending brush again, going right over everything. And we are done with the top part of our eye. Even if you have hooded eyes, a smoky eye is super achievable, very, very easy. Even if your eyes are a little bit more hooded than mine are, you can see it's just a very accomplishable look. It's a very easy look to achieve. You just have to have some patience with blending and some creativity with your colors. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the rest of my eyes and I'll be back to show you the very finished look. I'm back. We've got mascara on, eyeliner. I didn't do anything crazy, just black liner in my waterline like normal. Underneath my lashes, I just put the transition shade and the dark shade and went underneath with a fluffy brush. Nothing special. That's why I did not show it. One thing with hooded eyes, after you get your mascara on and your whole makeup, everything the way that you like it, sometimes you'll have to go back in with your eyeshadow and just go over places again, because once you get your mascara on, you realize like it's not as visible as you want it to be. So if that's the case, just open your eyes and put in your transition shade or whatever shade you're wanting to build up and go right back in. Don't be afraid to touch up after you've got your mascara on and all that. This way you know that you're going to be able to see your smokiness when it's all said and done. And there you have it, a super easy brown smoky eye with hooded eyes. Very, very easy and very achievable for beginners or whoever. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like if you found it helpful in any way. Subscribe before you leave. I upload videos every week. Would love to have you as part of my growing YouTube family. I'm just happy that you're here and that you stuck around. So thank you so much. Let me know if there's anything you want to see. I'm always down for recommendations or requests, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.